Hello everyone, welcome to Make Do Mama. Today we are baking with no butter. We're going to try to make some blueberry muffins without butter. Now here where I live in China, there is no butter in our town. We have to travel 2 to 4 hours away by bus or by train to one of the larger cities, buy our butter, and then bring it back to where we live. There's no butter or cheese here in rural China. Now, you can buy butter and cheese online and have it shipped to your home, but not here. We live too far out in the country for any companies to ship to us. So, a lot of my baking involves no butter. And today we're going to try blueberry crumb muffins without any butter in the crumb either. About 200 degrees Celsius right now. I usually turn my oven up a little bit higher because it has a little crack in the door and it doesn't shut all the way, so I always have to turn my oven a little hotter because heat will always escape. So let's get started. We have our bowl and our spoon. Now I don't have rubber spatulas. I have this awesome rice paddle which actually gets in all of there and I like using it for this. So first off we've got some flour, 1.5 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. Okay. Then we've got 3/4 cup of white sugar. Now if you can see, the sugar is actually kind of damp. A lot of the sugar we get here in Hainan is not completely dry and not as fine as the sugar you get in the States, but it works just as well. Alright, next up is our salt. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There's actually some salt fields where they harvest the salt not too far away from us where we live here, because we live by the mountains on this side and then there's the beach on this side and then there's some sea salt fields not far away. Next we need some baking powder. Now I realize this is a mayonnaise jar, but I like to keep my jars once they empty for baking powder and baking soda because they come in these bags. You can buy them in bags, but they're not resealable, so I like to keep my jars for storing my spices and baking stuff. So we need 2 teaspoons of this. So there's 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2. Okay, that's all the dry ingredients we're gonna put in this part of our muffins. So let's stir that together. Okay, now for our wet ingredients. We have the neutral vegetable oil, we've got an egg, and we have some milk. So in this 1 cup measuring cup, I've got 1/3 cup of oil, and I'm gonna crack my egg right into there. Let me throw this away and wash my hands. To our oil and egg, we're going to add some milk. Now, our milk comes in these cute little boxes. They don't need to be refrigerated until you open them. So some people are a little wary of this milk, but I think it's fine. It tastes different, but It's okay. So we want to fill up our 1 cup measuring cup completely to the top with these liquids. So in there we've got oil, an egg, and milk. We're going to take this and not spill it and dump it in here. Now we'll stir all those guys together. Okay, now for our precious blueberries. Aren't they so beautiful? Now these are already washed and cleaned off and everything. Oh, there's a stem. Let's get rid of that. And we don't get these very often. Usually berries, blueberries, strawberries are pretty expensive, so this is a special occasion. So we're going to dump 1 cup of blueberries in there and fold them in. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now to fill our muffin tin. Now I have a standard 12 cup muffin tin here, and usually I just will oil the inside of it and grease it, and then they'll just pop out really nicely. But one of my friends gave me these cute little strawberry muffin cups, so we're going to use those today. So I'm going to put those, whoops, down in there. And I have this handy dandy little ice cream scoop, and we're going to scoop our muffin mixture into our muffin tin. So this does not make 12 muffins, and I have this sad little muffin that's only half full, so I'm just going to scoop a little bit out of this guy and put it in there, a little bit out of this guy. You're probably only supposed to fill these half full, and I just went gung-ho and did a whole scoop. La la. You don't need that. There we go. You're not so sad anymore. Let's just get rid of those. Okay, now onto our crumb mixture. Now for our experiment today, that's going to be the crumb topping. Now in our muffins, instead of oil, usually you use melted butter. And in the crumb mixture, you use cold cubed butter. But today we're just using vegetable oil. But thankfully, there's a good amount of cinnamon in the crumb mixture, so that should help a lot. In our bowl, we already have a half a cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of flour. To that I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. So this should mask any of that vegetable oil flavor that comes through. We'll see what happens with the texture though. All right, let's mix up the flour, the sugar, and the cinnamon. It smells so good. Okay, let's see what happens. Normally you would cut butter in. I may add some oats to this. I think that might help. Yeah. That's not what that's supposed to look like. I'm gonna go get some oats. I'll be back. So right now, our crumb mixture is supposed to be dry and floury with like a few little bits of like wet butter things. But this is a paste that you would spread on the inside of cinnamon rolls when you bake them. And we want to make this less wet and mushy. So I'm going to try adding some oats. I think that would add some nice flavor and might help us out in the wetness department. So I'm going to do 2 scoops. That's about maybe 2 tablespoons. Let's see if that helps our situation at all. It's probably going to taste amazing, just texture's not quite right. Alright, here we go. Let's put our not so crummy crumb mixture on the top of our muffins. Now that the crumb's on, we're going to put them in the oven for about 25 minutes to see if they turn out. Here we go. Stay. Here are our blueberry crumb muffins, and it looks like the crumb stayed on, and these are massive. I definitely should not have filled them as full as I did. But we will be enjoying these for breakfast tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the pan now and get them on a cooling rack. Okay, it's time to try these. Now, unfortunately, I dropped this one, so this is the one we have to eat, I guess. So here goes. It's so crunchy and cinnamony and sweet. It worked. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this encourages you to, if you don't have something for one of your recipes, to not run out to the store and grab something, but see what you have in your cupboards and in your pantry that you can make do with. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.